bit of story. We've got Silver Oak, we've got Rombauer, we've got coffee. There's water in the back if you need it. We're gonna have a great lunch upstairs. And without further ado, I think we're getting pretty tight here. So thank you all so much for coming. I know it means a lot to the family. We definitely want to acknowledge the hard work, and I know that I don't want to steal anything from Dylan, but from Dylan Chang, the Areolas, Laura and Jill, Wayne's sister who's here today from New Zealand, yeah, and Abraham. Abe is here as well. So I think what we'll do is we'll start with some stories from the family. At some point, we're going to end that, and then Zach Areola and Dylan will grab a couple of bottles that are filled with Wayne's ashes. And we're going to toss them right over here out into the ocean. Yeah. Which is really appropriate. Those of you who don't know, Wayne was one of the original builders. He was involved with Sandy Stein in the building of this great structure, the flagship of the company. And not only was Wayne the builder on that, Tebow had fancied Wayne, and who didn't? I mean, Wayne had that lovely accent, and back in the day he was just, if you don't mind the expression, built like a brick shit house. He was handsome, good looking, he had the accent. I always said if I could use Wayne's accent just for one night in my early days, I certainly could have gotten laid on Front Street. But yeah, he had it all. He carried a black belt in the martial arts. He was charming. He had all of those qualities, and it was no wonder that he picked up Wayne right away, not only as a builder, but as an opening waiter here. He was very close with me. Wayne not only was kind to me in my early days, he became more than that, kind of a best friend, if you will, and I know all of us here feel that way. Many of us do. But Wayne was, when I bought my first little house, he was my builder. And he remained my builder throughout my life. Everything I did, I'm a blue-collar worker, I still am. I can't afford the big structures, so we did a lot of illegal structures. And I tell a quick story. The first one we did in the Peely Howe, and Wayne really respected, he was great friends with Rob Tebow, and he respected Rob's style, Rob's eye for detail. And he used to tell me all the time, in anything that we were endeavoring, he goes, yeah, that's not correct. He goes, you've got to have the Rob Tebow eye. He goes, crooked. No, Jack, come on over here. So this one day, we had set up building an extra bathroom on my house in the Peely Howe, and he had picked up the lumber. I went with him. He took me on all of his little journeys as his little buddy, and he said, tomorrow, Jack, I'll be at your house bright and early. I'll be there at 7 o'clock, and we'll start work. Well, at that time, I was married to Angela. We didn't get up at 7 o'clock. If you know Angela. No, they were late nights. And we slept in, and we forgot, and we slept in, and Wayne tried to wake us up apparently, but I got woken up. He pulled the Sawzall out of his box and boom, started that thing up, and he took the Sawzall and went straight through my master bedroom where the bathroom was going to be. Pictures were falling off the wall, and there it goes. There comes the saw through the thing. We jumped out of bed mad, going, what the hell? But that was part.
Thanks, Jack. I just want to start with some thank yous because I think it's important. There's a lot of people that are here today celebrating and that help make today happen and make everything happen. So I'm going to start with my friend and my dad's good friend, Jared Roback, back here playing music. Amazing artist, and I asked and he said automatic, and that's makes me feel good. Thank you. The Fleetwood Mac Ohana, who's out there playing music, they all send their love, and they sent some wine for everybody to have, so please enjoy it. If not, we're gonna have to dump it in the ocean. The TS Ohana, for allowing us to use chemos and for supporting automatic when we asked. Dana and Patty both here today, thank you, and we love you. And Jack and Chris and Alfonso and Tammy and Jackie, all putting in their hard work with everybody else in Maui. Has been, just humbling. Thank you. All the friends and family that aren't here, there's a lot of people that have texted me this morning and said they're having a glass of wine or a beer for Wayne, or just thinking about him, so I want to give them lots of love. There's also, I think sometimes it gets forgotten, but Wayne was in the ICU for almost 4 months, and there's a lot of nurses and doctors and people that took care of him, so I want to give them some aloha. And then, I live in Oahu, so being over here where Wayne was, it was difficult for me to be coming back and forth. And I'm so appreciative for everybody that went over to see him. It was definitely, I don't want to say it was surprising, but it was definitely very heartfelt when you think about everybody going all that time. Lots of times people just go and show up one time, obligatory, and then they go on with their lives. And everybody here and everybody that's not here that went to go see him, I appreciate it. I think he really loved and appreciated that you were all there for that. But really, to keep that all going, I want to thank my mom for carrying the torch for me and my family over here. I love you. And then really couldn't have done any of that portion without Wayne's sister and brother-in-law Jill and Abe Pasquale. So please give them a round of applause. They stopped their life in New Zealand and came here and lived in Wayne's house and went there every single day and took care of him. And that's pretty amazing. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love you. Jill's and Wayne's sister from New Zealand couldn't come. She couldn't travel, so she sent something. And it's a little bit of a single spacer, but she's not here. So I feel that I need to read it for her and for his family that's back there. So if you just bear with me while I read that, and then we can get on to all of you who want to come up here and say something. So it starts, Wayne Cody. Wayne Cody was born on the 8th of May, 1948. And was raised in Dunedin, New Zealand. I was just so excited waiting for my mom to bring this new baby home. Mom and dad didn't have a car in those days, and so my mom had to come home by bus with a new baby. That's the good old days. They'll probably come by drone now. I was nearly 10 years old and couldn't wait to see him. When he was about 18 months old, Wayne and I went to live with our grandparents who live on a farm in Mount Cargill, which was a little north of Dunedin. Our mom was not very well at this time. We both liked being with them. They were very kind to us, and Wayne really loved the cows and the ducks. Wayne really liked animals. By the time Mom came home, we went to live in a new house, which was in Estval Street in South Dunedin, and one of my dearest memories was when Dad built Wayne a little trolley to play in. He really loved that trolley. Another thing he enjoyed was when I would take him out into the bus. I did that such a lot, and we both really loved our time together. From that time he was born, Wayne was always a very happy person. A story recalled by my cousin Erin when she was 11 and I was 13 was that we took Wayne, who was 3, into Dunedin City by train or tram to visit Dad at work. Ray worked, which is his dad, at 4ZB, the local radio station. He was well known as a radio and sports announcer. Our visits to WZ or 4ZB was very special occasions. Aaron was very excited and fascinated by the fact that a voice could be recorded and played back. When we arrived at where Ray was working, there was a big red light outside his room indicating that he was on air. Aaron and I knew that if we entered that room while the red light was on, we had to be totally silent. When we returned home, Mom told she had heard Wayne's voice coming through the radio as clear as a bell saying, "Shut the door, Lola." He just couldn't say Ola. I feel like my son would do that. When I left Dunedin to go to England and to other countries, Wayne was still quite young. But when I returned, he was an adult and went to America. I did eventually come to New Zealand someday, but Wayne stayed in the USA, but often came home to visit. I have some lovely photos that we've shared some here today with everybody. On a very special memory I have, or one very special I have, is one of those visits when my friend Margaret, some of our mutual friends from Dunedin were out at a restaurant for dinner. He was visiting one of his friends at about 9 p.m. He happened to be passing the place where we were at and noticed us all dancing. I'll never forget the look of surprise on his face. He was quite sure we would have been well home in bed. However, he came in, joined us, and I think it was quite late before we all eventually went home. Something very special for me will always be the memory of not only his bright, warm, happy personality, but also how much he reminded me of a very special mom. Rest in peace, dear Wayne. Ola, the Hood. Thanks for listening to that. I'll just, say a few things. I have lots and lots of memories of Wayne. But something that I just wanted to share was that I learned from Wayne was his unconditional love. Wayne was my stepdad, which is an interesting thing because that doesn't always work so well for people, step-parents and step-kids. Wayne was the best dad.
Here. Try one of those.
All right. He was the best at that. He knew how to somehow figure out how to discipline me, but also love me at the same time. Treat me like his own, but also knew that I had a dad. And I mean, if there's a model how to do that, Wayne was the model how to do that. So I just really appreciate all the time he spent and all the love he gave to me, my kids, my wife, my mom. So thank you all for being here. I love you all, and hopefully you have a glass of wine or something for Wayne, or a Perrier, and toast all the good times. Mahalo.
Yeah. Whoa. Just got to choke that one down. So now's kind of the time where we want to talk a little bit about Ned Print. I don't know if you guys know that name. Those of us that were very close with him, we knew. He had a group of friends from New Zealand, and they were known as the Print Brothers. And Graham Bambury was one of them. I can't think of. And I'd like now to maybe bring, I don't have an individual person, but I think if somebody would like to come up and share a story. If not, I have another one. Come on, Laura. Because I got to eventually bring up Wayne's good friend, and I know they're up in heaven right now, is Jim Sweeney. So I have a little Wayne and Jim Sweeney story.
Thanks. Aloha, and welcome, and thank you everyone for loving Wayne. When Dylan was talking about Wayne being the best stepdad, and he had Vaughn, his dad, and then he had Wayne, who was definitely unconditional love. And I know all you know this, Mary, everyone here, Randy Von Tansky, everyone coming in, that Wayne's touched you in so many ways. And one thing about Wayne, he would give you the shirt off his back, and he was always, we all have our down times, but he was always very positive. We have people from Napa Valley that he was up in Silver Oak, and we sat here with Kenny Sinclair having a glass of wine the other day when we decided, after my sister said, well, if you put some ashes over, they're going to blow up that year, like they always do when we do the canoe ones. So she said, why don't you put it in a glass? And we're sitting there and go, well, we've got empty Silver Oak bottles, right, Kenny? So he said, he wants his ashes in Piha in New Zealand, but we find it that he needs to have some here in Hawaii, so that's what we're going to do. And if I can get through this poem, I'm going to do it, because my dad, Wayne would visit my dad when he was on Oahu every day. But every day he could. He'd go, and if my dad yelled at him, he'd say, see you later, Tally-ho. And he'd go back the next day. And then they'd have a good day. And never held anything bad, never felt bad about that. He just understood my dad. My dad had this poem. They had a really neat relationship. My dad being from England, and then, I don't know, somehow New Zealand and English or something. They just always he understood each other. So my dad taught me a poem, which was about his best friend. And it's called The Thousandth Man. And you are probably all the thousandth man. One man in 1,000, Solomon said, will stick more close than a brother. And it's worthwhile seeking him half your days if you can find him before the other. You can use his purse with no more talk than he uses yours for his spending, and laugh and meet in your daily walk as if there had been no lending. 999 can't buy the shame, nor mocking, nor laughter, but the 1,000th man will stand by your side to the gallows foot and after. And that's what Wayne was. He'll take a bullet for you. He'll do anything for you. And Wayne, I know we've spent many times here and many laughs, and he was, for Dylan, it was like like you said, if you could do a motto of being a dad for when you have a stepdad, and then even when we weren't together, we were all together. Yeah. As a family, we just grew stronger and stronger and stronger. And he did propose to me here on Bar 21 on New Year's Eve, and he doesn't like New Year's Eve because he said every night is New Year's Eve, every day is Christmas, and every night is New Year's Eve, so he didn't like the holidays and stuff. But he did used to introduce me as, have you met my future ex-wife, Laura? I said, why are you saying that in the first week? But anyways, I want to thank you very much. He has so many friends in so many parts of life all over the world, and when the Fleetwood Mac's a big part of his life also, and he was so, John and Christine were on their plane, and she wrote me and she said we were sitting down crying and laughing and saying that, boy, were we lucky to have Wayne take care of us when we were doing Rumors and Tusk and everything, and he always made sure that they were okay. Always looked out for them. Got a little wild, but he took care of them. So thank you very much, and Imua. Alex McDougall, are you number 1 or number 2?
Number 2.
Yeah, you're number 2. Wayne's number 1.
There's actually a story about that. I'm going to walk around. I forgot my Perrier.
Oh!
I'm going to need that too.
Here we go. I'll be the water guy.
But, Dylan, I'm going to drink it. As Wayne was just a Cajun. And he actually would, it wasn't a talking story, it was basically a remember when.
Yeah.
Remember when. That's what Wayne would say. Let's sit at Flyers Corner. Every time I came here, I went out to dinner with Kenny and Billy Haywood, and Wayne and I would have dinner when I actually moved to the mainland. I was just 4 years with him, but that went on after the 4 years. After that, we just kind of kept in touch. When I first moved here from Oahu, I had worked at the Chart House, and I had done some woodworking after the Chart House burned and helped rebuild it. And the place wasn't open yet, but Rob romanced me into coming over here, and I did. And I met Graham Banbury. He sold me my condo at Polynesian Shores. That's when I first met Wayne. And all the other people there, Steve Chiavi and Glennis, and everybody that lived in that complex. And the Graham said, well, this guy will help you build a loft, How many people have worked with Wayne? You know what I'm talking about. The place wasn't built, but I needed some money, and I knew that Rob would say, we're advancing. You're going to start as a waiter and a bartender and then move into management, and that actually came to fruition. I was the first opening bartender and the first head waiter here. And I did a lot of stuff, helped Mike Morris sand the bar and put a lot of this stuff together. But Wayno goes, number 2, go get me some nails. Number 2, I'm going over to Ace Hardware, make sure everything's okay. Number 2. So I go, I was number 2, so I figured he was number 1. So after all of that, we used to email each other, and it wasn't Wayno, it wasn't Alex, it was number 1, number 2. Number 2, need more nails. Number 2, this, you know. So I was kind of a gopher, but we became close friends. In fact, we were when the cannery was the cannery, we went down and we borrowed that flagpole. We just didn't return it. That was one of the many adventures of Wayno. Like I said, if you've all worked with him, Wayno, we were putting in the loft at Polynesian Shores, and Wayno wasn't big with ladders. He'd jump on a table, he'd jump on a chair, jump on a couch. You know, he never pretty much had a ladder. So we're putting in the loft, and the wood was warped. So I'd be trying to straighten it out while he was shooting me. He goes, this gun's not working. He shot a nail right by my head. And then so it was right over the stove, right in the kitchen. And he hops up on my stove, and we're doing all this woodwork and stuff. And he goes, number 2, I smell something burning. And I had one of those electric stoves. He had kicked the stove on while he was getting up there, and those white work boots, he had black rings around all the bottom. It was burning rubber on my on my stove. I came over here a month ago, came in on the hurricane, saw the fires. I had opportunity to go and see Wayne. I held his hand, told him I loved him. I could see his lips moving. He told me he loved me too. I said, number 1, I love you. And I'd like to give a shout out to Jill and Abraham. Everybody should have a sister like that. All right, number 1, number 2, signing out.
70, 71 in Encinitas, just one of North County, San Diego. And he was on a thread that I put up, and he kept saying how he wanted to do some sort of tribute to Wayne. To this day, from that short amount of time in the early 70s, that's what you do with Wayne. When you become friends with Wayne Cody and he likes you, you're friends for life. You're in. You're in Cody Stage and Security. How many people here have worked at Cody Stage and Security? Yeah. Under the table, baby. Cash payout. Well, if Alex was number 2, Haywood had to be number 3. I might have been number 4. And I think of Kenny Sinclair and some of those people. But as I'm speaking and you're formulating, please come stand near me, because I do want to hand the microphone off. I don't want to dominate, but I have to laugh. So during this, our first project at Napili Howe, we did the bathroom, turned out amazing, and that was it. I said, Wayne, hey, would you be interested? I want to build a tool shed. And Wayne insisted that no, man, I got a Sears card. I own a home. I got a Sears card, and I want to go. I picked up, I said, it's in the back of my truck. I said, I just need you to build the platform that we'll put it on. And he was just amazed. He goes, okay, Jeff, that's great. He goes, so you have the material? I go, I've got the material. So we built this whole thing. He had never seen the material that we were going to use. We built this 10 by 10 square, and it went up beautifully. And then I went to the back, and day 2, I went to the back of my car and I pulled it out. It was in a box no bigger than I am, and a triangle, and he couldn't figure out. He said, Jeff, where's the rest of it? I said, that's it, Wayne. It's right there. That's everything in the box. And I pulled out another bag, and it had 1,000 sheet metal screws in it. You ever seen those? Ever put one together? Well, we had a really windy day that day, and I don't know if you've ever seen Wayne upset. He's always so kind and generous, If you hang out with him long enough, you'll get to see the Wayne and Cody temper. Suffice to say that we laid out all the pieces, as many as we could, and we started to put the thing together with instructions. Wayne does not like instructions. He missed half of it. By the time we were there, we were getting close to the end, and there were still, I don't know, maybe 200 sheet metal screws left. And there was an important part to it, but the wind was blowing very hard, and I could tell he was getting frustrated, and he started to bark at me and yell at me. It is the way he would do it. I wasn't upset by it, but I was like, okay, it's getting weird. I'm holding the two pieces down like this, one piece down, one piece up. And I could see him, and he says, Chick, don't move. And he left. And he proceeded to go to his car, and he drove away. And I stood, I think I have a bad back today because of that time. I stood there because I didn't want to let Wayne down because I had those sheet metal screw holes lined up perfectly. And I sat there for about 20 minutes, 15 minutes, what seemed to me, and he had taken the truck and left. He didn't talk to me for 2 days. And the shed sat there, and eventually we put it back together, but boy, he needed that time to cool off. Don't get those sheds from Sears. They prefab them now. So that's my little story. I have more, but please, I look around and I go, I know I don't want to call on somebody, but I'm going to have to. Hey, don't move around. Jill?
Well, yes, but sorry. What's the restaurant phone number? I can't hear him on the phone. Brian.
Okay. How will we do it?
Speak. It is on speakerphone. Brian.
Brian, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, say hello to everybody.
There we go.
Hi, everybody.
Buddy, we got this thing. Knock it out of the park, Brian.
Can you
Brian,
guys hear me?
say it again.
Hello, can you guys hear me there?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
You can't? Okay. Well, I wish I could be there, everybody, but I've tried my own couple of health battles too, but I'm winning them. And I'll be done fighting some cancer treatments by the end of the month. And I'm beating it. So, anyway, sorry I couldn't be there, but I have one thing I'd like to say. And back in 1970, 71, Wayne and I were living together in Cardiff, California. And we were, excuse me, I'm out of breath, they're upstairs. And we were roommates. And then, I just a breath. We were roommates, and then a friend of ours needed a ride to the airport. And you gotta remember, we're in our early 20s. So a friend of ours needed a ride to the airport. And I know Alex McNichol's there, and he knows him. His name's Mike Dobransky, better known as Rock the Mike. So Wayne said to Mike, and you gotta know how this guy is. Wayne said to Mike, how about a cup of tea before I take you to the airport, mate? And Mike said, sure. So he spiked his tea. And then put him in the car and took him to the airport. He spiked it with LSD.
Oh, that got our attention.
I know it blows the mind, but you know, we're in our early 20s, so picture how you guys were in your early 20s. We're all kind of wild. You know, but this guy, if any guy would have done the same thing on anybody, it would have been the guy that we did this to. So he drove Mike to the airport, put him on the plane to go back east. When he flew on the plane, he started coming onto the stuff, and the entire flight, they didn't know what was wrong with him, and he put a blanket over his head the entire flight. So he got off and then called us at the house, and boy, was he human. And then he said to Wayne, whatever I do, I'm going to get even with you sometime in our lives. Don't ever turn your back on me. So, you know, Wayne's just laughing about it, and we're all laughing about it. So then, and he kept getting it through the years. And then when Wayne got married, Mike came to the event, and the entire time he's whispering in Wayne's ear, "You better watch it, Wayne. You better watch this." He had Wayne on pins and needles the whole night, but he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. Not at Wayne's wedding, but it's just the point. He got even just by doing that, and threatening Wayne, and Wayne's really nervous the entire time. But you had to be there to live it to see it. But could you imagine getting on an airplane and someone spiking your key with LSD? Oh my God.
Brian, I cannot tell you how happy we are that you're on the mic with everyone. You've got about, gosh, I want to say there's 75 to 100 people staring right at me, holding the phone, listening to you. So, what a great story. Yeah, really, really, I guarantee you, Wayne, smiling down. I've heard your name for many years. You're a legend. I hope your health gets, that you feel better and that you recover. And we're thinking about you now, and we're going to bask in Wayne Cody the Wedge's spirit. And we'll think of you.
Okay? Oh, well, that's great. How many people are there, may I ask?
75 to 100.
Oh, wow. Okay, great. Hi, everybody. Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
When Wayne was living up in Paradise Cove, there's something he's always really proud of. When he was living up in Paradise Cove, he had all three of his marriage certificates framed and put on the wall, and he was really proud of all those three.
Oh, yeah.
Tell Brian that we, when he got cremated, we cremated him with all three of them because they were on.
I don't know if everyone heard that. Does everybody know that Wayne had all three of his divorce certificates on the wall and framed in his house? So that was one of his requests. So I don't know if you're hearing me, Brian, but they cremated him with the documents in the urn. So when we throw him over, there will be pieces of his divorce papers in the silver oak bottles that we're throwing in front of funerals today. All right, Brian.
I've never seen anybody so proud of something like that before, divorce papers.
Yeah, it's a classic, my friend. Hey, we've got to carry on, so we love you, buddy.
Carry
Thank you.
on, everybody. Good luck. Have a great day.
Let's give him one big aloha.
Pictures on Facebook.
Hey, Brian, this one's for you on 3 Aloha. 1, 2, 3. There you go, brother.
Aloha. Bye.
Take care.
Should you say like, okay, I got a Wayne story. We'll get in line. We got till Thursday. And you got 20 seconds. Because it just goes on and on and on. And you just kind of want to go to titles like Downhill Croquet Tournament. Unbelievable. Master Blaster Race. The Master Blaster in Molokai. Foreigner concert. Fleetwood Mac stuff. Forever and ever. I think I met Wayne around like, I don't know, 79 when I started working here. It was just after they retired the blue denim shirts. Red Devil would be wearing his blue denim with a towel over it and hanging around. Bradbury's behind the bar smoking and drinking, blowing on his coffee cup. It was cold beer. You know, and Wayno, being Wayno, I built this place. Yeah, I know. You see how, yeah. You'll see a picture up there, like 4 in from the corner where Wayne's looking at something like, it's not Rob Shibo standard. It's full Wayne. So I'm Wayne with him. We all got stories with Wayno. I mean, good guy. He's the brother. He's like an older brother to me. I grew up here and had my family here, but then I had Wayne over on this side, which has always seemed to be some bedrock. Sometimes gravel, but mostly bedrock. So we're waiting tables once, and you know, we're pretty accepting of everything, even though these days you talk about it, because to accept it, you have to talk about it. There's a couple gay gals, lesbians, whatever you call them, they're partners. And they're waiting up, they're up on 133, and I'm waiting on them, and Wayne's in my section. We work it together. I'd talk, and he'd work, or he'd get somebody else to do it. And I'd get my whole section on, I would announce it. I go, why would I tell the menu about 4 times when I can just broadcast it? So, and not a lot's changed since then. So what happens is, we're waiting tables, and what I did to Wayne's section was saran wrapped it. You know, I got another Jack story that's twice as good, but so I just put, you know, the viscreen over the top, and I cut it on all his water glasses, and these 2 gals are sitting there, and you got to figure out who's who if you want to make a tip, so you got to talk to the guy. And so Wayno goes out and he's being all cool and he's got the water glass and he starts to pour it. And the shit goes everywhere. There's like ice cubes doing the trampoline. One falls in her purse, on her leather jacket. There's shit all over the place. It's blowing up, and I'm losing my shit. I'm laughing so hard because at that one point I was almost caught up in my section. So I'm leaning back around the corner. There's like a little facade there. You could lean around the corner, and there's Wayne just going. You ever see Wayno have that look like I don't know what's going on? And these chicks are pissed. Just totally pissed. And Wayno couldn't get his arm down fast enough. When he dumps his arm, it's still pouring. There's shit everywhere. It blows up. Everything's insane. I get called into the office with a lair. Oh, there's a beating. Really? The inmate is the prison guard, right? And there's one, Haywood, it's going to cost this restaurant its reputation. I'm like, I think not. So they had this bottle of wine, Wente Brothers Grey Riesling, and you're going to buy that bottle of wine. So I'm talking with Wayno. What'd he say? He goes, well, he told him, we got to buy the bottle of wine. It's $14. He goes, well, what? I said, well, I asked for employee price. Good job, okay. We didn't get fired. And then there's Wayno, whenever you do something, you build it right, you know. You have to make plans. You have to, lay it out nicely. You'll see his last plans with the stage right here with the riser and everything's all metric out and perfect and stuff. And I look at him, I go, is that the guy I know? Really? Wow, and he just do everything right like that. It was so much fun. I think you would get into the downhill croquet tournament, right, Tom, before your house was built, with everybody else's materials, right? So we're sitting around, we're all talking. I don't know how it all got started. Somehow, Kenny and I and Wayno were talking about it, and we said, well, let's have a croquet tournament. And that's when McVie had the house up here. And it's got a slope on it, pretty good slope. Okay, let's do a downhill croquet tournament. Yeah, that makes sense, sure. Everybody will be in whites, ladies in sundresses and hats, and the men in their gentleman whites. We're talking, literally, I remember talking about yeah, well, yeah, on that religious time, right? And there's Wayno and then there's God, right? So we're even talking about cut cucumber sandwiches where you cut the crust off. Can you imagine Wayno being part of that conversation? I'll build the stage. We even had it down to the point where we had a stuffed John McVie doll. I mean, full. And we got, I think, Howard from the jewelry shop from Jessica Gems to donate an emerald, which we hid in the crotch. It was a scavenger hunt, and you had to get into his pants. Funny how art imitates life. It's amazing. But for those of you that are on for the downhill croquet tournament, or on a master blaster or something, Wayno's checked out in body, but every person in here has a bit of Wayno, or a lot of Wayno in you, and you're better for it. Jaime, I saw that, Jaime, that was the finger. Don't do that. Was that Wayno or was that Jaime? That was so Jaime. But you all got a bit of Wayno, and you gotta live it. And I know I certainly do. I named one of my children after him. Oh God, what was I thinking? But you got a bit of Wayno in you. You gotta respect it, you gotta nurture it, you gotta live it. Don't be him. Be what he's done for you. And so for me, I think about him almost every day. And it brings me joy to have had him for all those years and to still got him. I still got him. And I'm digging that a lot, and I respect it by living it. So, and I think everybody would agree that externally we all knew him here as a group. We all got these stories that overlap like concentric rings. But internally you have something that goes around your heart, which is wonderful. It's a great gift. A gift of superior love and friendship, and you just got to nurture it and keep it going every day. Share it again and once again and let it evolve and come up again and again as much as you can. That's what everybody does for it. So life goes on, let's live it, let's keep him going on too. So thanks.
We've been at the hospital, not nearly as much as her and Laura and Abraham, but when I speak with her, you're going to love this. It sounds just like Wayne. I can please keep talking. I just love it. There you go.
Aloha, everyone. I wasn't going to say anything because thank you all so much for being here. For Wayne,
Loose and tight,
thank
you
you,
got
Chris.
this.
It means a lot to him and to me and my husband and Laura. He was, I was 14 when, or 16, 14 when he left New Zealand at 18, so we didn't get to spend a lot of the life that you here have spent with him. So you actually know him way better than I do. And there was just one little thing where he came down to New Zealand the very last time, which was 12 years ago, for our grandson's first birthday, which was a big event because we are all aloha. And we had lots of people, we had music, we had food, there was 150 people. And we had an end-on-end garage where I had all the food on a trestle table, not unlike you, build a bun where you had the buns and the ham and cheese and the ketchup and the mustard and all those bits and pieces. And we were all just busying away having a lovely party when I could hear all this squealing and shrieking and laughter and children in this end-on-end garage, which did have this carpet in it for some reason, I don't know why. And I walked out there and I looked at everyone. There was probably about 10 or 12 children who were all covered in ketchup. And Wayne standing there with the ketchup bottle in his hand going, "That kid over there started it." And this poor little kid, you know, looked up at this 6'3" man and just was like, no. That was one of my last memories of Wayne in my house in New Zealand, which was 12 years ago. And apart from that, you all have more memories than I do. So I love you all, and I love you for being part of my brother's life. Fortunately, I got to spend 4 months with him, with my husband Abraham every day in ICU, but I got to spend at least 8 hours a day for 4 months with him, and I'll treasure that. There's a little email here from one of the New Zealand boys, Dave Carter, who was with Ram Bambury, Steve King, who is here, and he just wrote, "Dear Jill, thinking of you on this day in the life of my best buddy Wayne. Actually, there hasn't been a day that I haven't smiled inwardly while remembering all the good times I have shared with Wayne. He was a huge part of my life. I have known him since we were 15 years old and started surfing together in New Zealand. We spent most of our years together in the US of A, travelling back and forth from Hawaii and California. I only have to look around my house or outside at the view here in Paradise Cove to get that feeling that Wayne is still here. And my presence, oh, the stories that I could tell. I will miss him immensely, his humour, which we all know, his kindness, his generosity, his everlasting friendship. Take care, good buddy. I shall see you again, your pal David." I think one of the things that you probably all remember about Wayne was his humour, his generosity, his kindness, and like Laura said, he will give you the shirt off his back. He will, what is that they say, chicken now, feathers later?
Chicken today, feathers tomorrow.
Yeah, chicken today, feathers tomorrow. You know, he'd pay $4.50 for something for someone when he only had $4 in his pocket. But that was Wayne. We are going to put his ashes out at some stage. I don't know if there's anybody else who wanted to say a word. Jaime? All right.
I think it's fair to say, too, we're going to introduce Jaime. He was by far Wayne's favorite brother-in-law, and he had several. I'm not sure if that held, I got the mic, I love that. I'm not sure if that held true once they were actual brother-in-laws. I think the thought of it was pretty fun, and then it actually happened.
I'll tell you what, I could be up here all day, like Jack is, because I have so many stories, it's ridiculous. But, quick one, Haywood, you were so wrong about that cellophaning the glasses, because I was a manager that evening, and I told you guys, because I saw you guys doing it, I go, don't do it. Cool it. So then they did it, then both of them come up going, meow, hi me. You know, these guys are all bugged out. So I have to go talk to them. And then they go, can we buy them a bottle of wine? I go, absolutely. You and Wayne can. And you did. There was a couple other little stories, but yeah, anyway. But it was kind of like cellophaning. We'd go out to dinner at the Grill and Bar. Dylan was small. You know, we'd put the chairs together, napkins, you know, put Dylan down or put him on the carpet. And so we got there early, Carol and I, and she goes, what are you doing? I go, you know, they're still getting ready, and I'm cellophaning the toilet bowl, right? So I figure Wayne's gonna have a little silver oak, whatever it might be, come over, you know, and take a Cody and get it all over his can, you know. But what happened was Laura came in, beautiful dress. She sits down, doesn't do a Cody, but does a, you know, does a number one, and all of a sudden goes, oh my God, you know, what's going on? So she goes in there and tells Wayne, something's wrong with the toilet. And he's going, yeah, whatever. So he gets up in the middle of the night and he walks in, and there's shishi all over the floor, and he kind of went, oh fuck, what's going on? You know, and he walks into the shower and takes the leak, and away he goes. You know, but you know, Wayne was definitely one of my best friends, without a doubt. His sister and Abe, the brother-in-law, amazing job. I mean, I shouldn't say job, but unbelievable sister and brother-in-law. You know, and yeah. I did get to visit them. It was pretty classic. We had a senior softball tournament, state tournament over here. So I came over and I was here for 5 days. So I think I got to visit them about 7 and saw 2 good days. And one of the good days was I walked in and the nurse, I forget his name, and he goes, hi, Wayne's having a good day. It was 8 o'clock in the morning. And so I walk in, and I used to call him bitch, you know, and he hated it. I mean, he must have told me, I can't even tell you how many times, I'm going to kick your fucking ass, you know. And so I come in there, and so I wouldn't call him B-I-T-C-H, I call him beach, you know, like the beach. So I walk in there and going, Cody, I could see that he's totally coherent. And I go, beach, get your sorry ass up. What's wrong with you? And he goes, right? So then we're talking some more. And then I go, Cody, do you even know who I am? And he goes, I go, yeah. And then at the end, I kind of go, come on, I love you so freaking much, man. And I go, I love you. And he kind of went, you know, and the nurse goes, are you kidding me? From F you to I love you? She goes, this is unbelievable. You both have made my day, you know. But I could be up here for a while, probably longer than Jack. Not quite as boring as Jack, but Hayward, what story would you like me to tell? Dave Brown?
The Master Blaster.
I'll tell you what. Wayne was this guy,
Master Blaster.
however big he was, bigger than life, and if he saw mice, he, you know, he just was freaked with mice, right? So we're in here, and I don't even know what time it was. Probably about 10:30 at night, and Bill and I are upstairs, and it's the end of the night. Nobody's even up there. And David Lair, we had this rat. I was taking an order on, I forget what table this is up here, and I look up, and I see this freaking rat on the wall, right? And so I tell David, and David goes, no, we can't poison. Well, David took a vacation. The day he took the vacation, we poisoned, right? So Bill and I are up there, and we're talking, and all of a sudden, there's a crouton box. It's not this way anymore, okay? But there's a crouton box. And all of a sudden, and all these croutons fall on the floor. And we look, and it's this freaking rat. And it's just hanging on the box, kind of like this, looking at us. And I went, and Haywood and I go, oh shit, you know? And all of a sudden it just tips over, and all freaking falls on the ground. And it takes off, and it looks like it's drunk. Kind of goes going in around, he goes to the heater closet, right? So I go in there and I grab a broom for whatever reason. And Haywood's in there with me, and we're in the heater closet. I'm trying to get it. And I got it, and I go, Bill, pick it up. He goes, no, you freaking pick it up. You know? So we grab it, and I grab it, and I smack it on the freaking table. And we used to cut our sashimi on. But, so I get it, and he goes, what do we do? And I go, here, get it in the doggy bag. And he goes, like, why? You know, and I didn't know why. But then I cellophane the doggy bag and put it in another one. I go, I know what I'm going to do. Okay, now I'm going to go back. Okay, Wayne Cody's refrigerator. I'm picking him up early in the morning. Dawn Patrol. Yeah, right. So I go in there and I open it up, and there's a to-go bag full of muffins. And I go to him. I go, you know, he's kind of getting ready. I'm going, you can't freaking done it, Steve. And he goes, are you kidding me? The health department. I'll call the health department on you guys. I'm going, yeah, whatever, right? So he kept his little briefcase up top. So I go up there and I open it up and I put the bag inside of his briefcase and I shut it.
With a rat in it.
With a rat in it. So Bill and I, he goes, how are you going to get him up there? I go, I don't know. So I go downstairs and Wayne's sitting there having a couple beers and I go, Cody, we were working on Tebow's house at the time. I go, Cody, how many hours do I have at Tebow's house? He goes, oh, I got that in my briefcase. Mate, I'll go get it right now. I'm not going to say what I did. I wasn't mate.
We're all sitting down here drinking, and Wayne's the only guy that doesn't know.
Yeah, well, nobody really knew until we came down. So anyway, so Cody goes up there, and he opens up, he sees his briefcase, he opens it up, right? And he sees his to-go bag, and he goes, wow, did I take these? So he touches it, and he goes, oh, they're warm. He goes, yeah, I love it. So he grabs it, he opens it up, and this freaking rat is staring at me, and you hear him go, oh, oh, oh. And what happened was, it freaking looked at him, then it jumped on his chest and took off. And at that time, everybody did know, and I'm down here laughing so freaking hard. I mean, it was ridiculous. But I mean, I'll tell you what, and the payback would be brutal. And then the other story was the Mad Boma, which I'm not going to go into it.
Yeah.
Do we have enough time, Jack? Okay, I'm gonna do it real quick. Okay, I'm leaving. I'm going to Tahoe. Cody comes up to me a couple times. He goes, "It's your last day." I go, "So what was my last day?" And he goes, "You're gonna get pied." I go, "I wouldn't recommend it." I wouldn't recommend it, Cody. Just cool it already. Anyway, at the end of this, I don't even know what restaurant, Moose's or some other restaurant at the time. We come down and I'm trying to sneak out of here because I know they want to pie me. I get down, I've done a couple things. I go down the trash area, jam out. Here comes 6 guys chasing me. So I go into Moose's, running around. I mean, as agile as I am, I just kind of went through the crowd. They're throwing pies, almost a fight. They block them up. I come down, I'm out of here. So in the morning, I tell my wife, I go, let's go Dawn Patrol. The winds are blowing southerlies, and we're on our way. Check out Honolulu. But before that, I go, let's go see, I got to go to Wayne's. She's going, God, it's 6:15 in the morning. I'm going, yeah, I know. So I take my van, boom, back it up. I go, get in the driver's seat. She goes, why? I go, just get in the driver's seat, please. And so I bring my pie. I got my pie ready for Wayne. I go up there.
Palace, right?
And Penguin Palace, up in McGee's house. And they had the dog, which would start barking, but she knew me. And she's all, and I'm opening up all the doors, and I go in there, and there's Cody asleep. So I have the pie, I start walking in, and all of a sudden, he starts moving. I just stop, and then he goes, and I almost lost it. I was ready to start laughing, so I backed out. Hello, Fred. I back out. I go back in, I grab a pillow in the other room, and I'm laughing at this pillow. That's how funny it was. I mean, you got this big freaking, I don't know what he was thinking, but anyway, so I go in there, and he's like this, and at the time I started laughing, and I just go, pack. and I take off. I jump in the van, we're gone. Honolulu's blown out. It's pretty big. It's about 8 foot. You know, so the windmills is going to be going off. So we come back home. A buddy of mine calls me. He goes, yeah, I'll meet you at the house. I go, great. We drive back out. Jill was living on the lower highway, which was the only way to get to Honolulu at that time. And so she could see, so I go driving by. So I had an alibi. So Cody wakes up and he expects somebody to be there, right? Nobody's there. And that's what really pissed him off. So he goes and he goes, I know it's that freaking Jaime. You know, so he goes over to his sister's house and she goes, no, Jaime just went by. He couldn't have been. You know, so everything's good. So he goes up to David Carter's house, another Kiwi, and he shakes him up a little bit. And anyway, it lasted for about 8 months. Nobody knew the Mad Booma. And what he would do was go, who is the Mad Booma? Right? So I'm up in Tahoe, and I go ahead and write a postcard for Christmas to everyone. And at the bottom, I write, the Mad Booma. Anyway, obviously, you know, everyone loved Wayne, and he was so much fun. I actually want to correct Dylan a little bit. I don't feel that he was the best role model. He could have been the best fun mom with a lot of aloha, you know. And I'll tell you what, we definitely miss him. We miss him. So many memories. A wonderful man. You know, built our house. I mean, he lived with us for 3 years. I can't, you know, a friend. What's a friend? Definition of a friend. A friend is when you tell somebody, please, I do not need you. Cabron. I don't need you. Don't come. And they come anyway. Love you, Wayne. This is a
Kia ora e maho. My name is Liz, and I met the lovely Wayne when I was 16 at the Catholic College Ball in Auckland. And his personality was humorous, and all those things everyone said, the kindness, and he was laid back, and he was still the same person today. Well, he still is. And I just wanted to thank Laura and Jill for the wonderful what they've given Wayne in his life, and they've been there for him. And I just wanted to say hi to our Wayne and sing a little Maori song for you.
Oh, perfect.
Oh. E hara I te mea, no nane te aroha, whakapono tumanako, te aroha, te aroha.